My name is Angelus McFarlane, and I train out of Bam Bam Martial Arts. My first martial art was karate through the window of a school from the street. I was a twig kid like this with a British and Caribbean accent growing up in Brooklyn. That's enough reason right there. So, yeah. I grew up predominantly in Brooklyn. Yeah, and predominantly in East Flatbush, Crown Heights, Brooklyn. Yeah. You know, long short story was I was going to make a move again, either go overseas or just go somewhere else in the United States. And I had some friends who were here that I knew from another area of the country I lived in. They say, hey, come out to Houston. There's a lot of opportunities, things are going on, and it was the best decision I ever made because I think I did really, really well for myself. I had, again, trained in martial arts on and off for a long time, competed in different things, and I took, just a long period, about 10 years almost, doing other things, and I realized that I missed it a lot. I had nothing going on as competitive. I was just doing a regular day job behind the desk, different things like that, just no knocking anybody else, but just realized it was boring the crap out of me. And I was training, I was lifting again, I was trying to become a bodybuilder again because I just really loved lifting weights. And I stumbled upon Scott Sullivan, the owner of Bam Bam Martial Arts, on ESPN. He was on a radio show. He was talking about Rampage. I think Rampage was fighting somebody, and they were asking for predictions, and I was in my garage hitting the bag and lifting weights and kicking and everything. I said, let me call in. So I called in and I got Scott. And long and short, we had a conversation on the radio, and he says, hey, you know what? Just like anybody else would, of course, hey, come on down to my gym. It's not too late. You're 30 years old, but you ain't dead. So I met him and I started from there. Scott Bam Bam Sullivan, I look up to that guy. He is an amazing guy. If you ever have a chance to meet him, you'll see he's kind of larger than life. He's a really big guy, and he fought in shoot-to-box championships. In fact, I'm not going to take credit. These are his belts back here and his information. And he fought overseas in Japan in the heyday when it was really becoming big in the United States. And he started his school out of St. Thomas University because he was attending St. Thomas. And going on about 8 or 9 years ago, he opened up this spot. And shortly after that is when I met him. And when I came in, I had that yearning to really get started and get going again. And he saw that I had some experience and background, and he said, well, I think I'm going to teach you, some things on the side, So he took me on the side and taught me more than the regular class. It wasn't a bad class or anything. Went in, and at the time we had a number of fighters, and I really would get in their face and have them punch me, and I'd take licks until I started picking, because I had to change all my styles, But Scott was there the entire way, and it helped me out. One of the things that I focus on here, and I have my, the instructors that I have working with us to do, if we find talent and we find somebody that wants to do it and has a genuine love for it and is willing to do it not for money or fame, we're going to nurture that. We're going to push that. We're going to make them a priority, and we're going to train them, and I'll pour everything into them, whatever they need. At the same time, right, I won't train them just to make my school better. I definitely want my school to be better. I want my school to do well, but not at the behest of them. So I think that is one of the things that can make an instructor successful, right? A coach, instructor, whatever you want to call it, or even, I guess it then leads to the business being successful as well, as you individually focus on that person and nurture what they need. Let's get you, let's teach you properly. Let's get everything set well for you. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's awesome. Yeah, I can throw you in the ring. I can make a phone call. We can get you a fight from a small promotion to a big promotion, amateur fight, whatever. But let's get you some basics first. Okay, yeah, I know, you just jump on the guy and you start punching. No, that's not gonna work. And then, if they really wanna push it and they wanna keep going, I say, well, let's jump in the class. Let's go to the class and let's go through the cardio that's required. Let's go to the technique that's required. And I show them just a little bit, just a glimpse, just the end of a pinky tip, of how much you really need to put forward to this. Because a lot of people truly don't know what they're getting themselves into, not just in MMA, but in anything really, until they experience it. And once that happens, they kind of come down a notch, and I see where they're at, yeah? And then I'm like, okay, do you still want to keep going? They're like, yeah, I want to sign up. I'm like, okay, let's sign up. And then that's not it. It doesn't end there, because they'll be with us maybe for a month or two, and then it becomes too hard, and excuses happen, things happen, and I'm like, okay, fine. And those who stick around, like I said, I put my all into. I'm there, they'll text me, they'll call me, I need to train on Sunday, let's go train on Sunday. Hey coach, how do I handle my diet? Let's handle your diet, let's talk about this. Should I take this fight? Maybe that's not the best fight for you, that kind of thing. So, one of the things that I was told as a kid, and I wish I could remember where I heard it, but it's resonated with me for a long time, is never worry about the time it's going to take you to accomplish a goal. You know why? Because that time's going to go by anyway, right? So yeah, I want to do martial arts, but I'm afraid, and it's going to take too long. How long would it take for me to get good? I hear that question a lot. Dude, nobody knows how long it's going to take you to get good. You can have the best instructor in the world, and you'll still suck. Okay? Or you can be the greatest at one thing and be horrible at another. Okay? There's no guarantees at all. But what I tell them is, who are you going to be today, and who are you going to be 6 months from now if you don't do it? If you do it, right? If you do commit yourself at least to, let's just start with the basics, do a regular class, not the MMA fighting class, not the competitive class, not the BJ competitive class, just the beginner entry-level class, right? If you don't do it, guess who you're going to be in 6 months? Same person you are now. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. There's no follow-through. You're not going to become anything new. If you do it 6 months from now, you will know that, hey, I did 6 months of this, I committed to this, I committed myself. One, I'm able to commit to something. Two, I'm tougher than I thought I was, because it's been 6 months I've been doing this now, right? At that point now, guess what? You've learned some serious techniques. So all the stuff you thought you couldn't do, you can do now, right? And I always tell them that one thing: who are you going to be 6 months from now? Who do you want to be? Do you want to be the same person you are now, or you want to be that? And sometimes I get people who still just can't believe in themselves enough to do it. I say, guess what? Believe in the you that I believe in. That's it. It's like, but you don't even know me. But guess what? You walked through my door, so right now I'm going to believe in you. I'm going to believe that you can do this. So if that's going to make it, then believe in the you that I believe in. And then you can start believing in the you that you believe in, all right? It's going to sound cheesy, but then we're all going to get it. And finally, they start realizing, hey, I got this. I can do this. Holy crap, I got my first arm bar. It took me 4 months, but I got my first arm bar. I arm barred him, coach. I'm like, good. Now do it again. Let's go. It's like, but that was a white belt. I got it. Now take the brown belt and arm bar him. What? I didn't make it here by myself. First of all, Scott Sullivan and the Sullivan family, the entire Sullivan family, actually. Without Scott, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing right now. Things like going down to, like I said, I just returned from California, training with Jeff Glover and filming, and then Mendes Brothers out there. So without the Sullivans, I wouldn't be able to do this and really do everything I did. I always go back to the people that helped me from the beginning, that are still my friends now. And like I said, Justin, who's out there fighting, I want the best for his career. Cody Phillips, who I haven't seen him in a while, but he was out there originally doing that. Of course, we talked about Robert Azale, from Jiu-jitsu Podcast. You guys for coming out. I mean, come on, really. You guys didn't have to come to my school and do this for me, so I'm grateful. Just everyone who walks in, my students that come in, people give me a hard time. Haters, I thank haters too. I love haters. Haters are awesome, man. They keep pushing and pushing and pushing, but they'll never outnumber the people that believe in you. So I'm thanking everybody for being good or bad, and I'm gonna keep going. Are we good?
Yes, sir.
Go.
Come on.